Now time to take a moment with Mats Wilander to preview the 2019 ATP Tour.
Borna Coric is very keen to keep changing and keep reaching for his potential. The attitude, the work ethic is obvious during the matches, but the attitude of him trying to improve, because he won on grass in Halle, beat Roger Federer. So he's understanding that the natural evolution of his game has to be to come forwards. Kyle Edmund has become big on court. His forehand is bigger these days. His serve is bigger now because his attitude is bigger. And I think with a game like that, he can break through and threaten for slams, but at times he's going to be firing on all cylinders and be tough to beat. Karen Khachanov, he has figured out how to somehow get around having a forehand that was looked upon as a weakness because of such a severe grip. Suddenly he's turned his tennis around and it's now becoming a strength. He's more aggressive with the backhand, he's more aggressive coming forwards, he serves better, and suddenly now the forehand is becoming a strength. So I think that he's going to work harder and harder and harder to get to the top of the game. These young guys, there's something fresh about them that I'm so excited about. Stefanos Tsitsipas, the one that comes to mind first, because I didn't think he was going to be ready this early. His forehand and backhand is a throwback to my days, which I love, but I didn't think he was going to come out and play this well and having beating the best players in the world. But he has done that. He's the safest bet to be in the top 10 of all the young players. Rafa Nadal. Obviously he's going to run himself into the ground, but I think with that style, I think he can dominate for a couple of more years. I don't think that the younger players coming up necessarily have the tools to beat him on clay, and the only threat I see is basically Novak Djokovic, and of course he can beat him. Roger Federer, when you see him this year struggle in some of the matches, especially closing matches out or winning tight sets, I think that we see a certain stubbornness with him that I really like. On the other hand, I think we saw in the past against Rafa Nadal. He would hit too many slice backhands, get caught up in this duel between Nadal's forehand and his backhand, but he can't win that. He's now taken it to the next level where he says, well, listen, I'm going to play my way. I'm going to take it early. I'm going to miss a few backhands, but I'm not giving you any rhythm. And I think that tells me that he's not done by any means, and I prefer to see him contend at Wimbledon and especially the Australian Open every year. I don't expect Andy Murray to continue playing if he doesn't feel close to 100% physically, and I think the mental part is what he enjoys when he plays matches. But if he can't use his physicality on the court, then suddenly he's going to have to make decisions tactically that he doesn't want to make. I think the best tennis from Novak Djokovic still hasn't been on display. He's the only player that I've ever said has a chance to win the calendar Grand Slam, and obviously he's won 4 in a row. I think he can still win 4 in the same calendar year, so I think the best tennis is still coming out of him, and they will not move him out of the top. But apart from that, Nadal and Roger Federer and Andy Murray, I don't think that the younger players of 19, 20, 21, 22, I don't think they have much respect for them anymore. You must probably work really hard in the off-season. The Australian Open usually goes to the guy who's the most solid, who doesn't need to practice 4 hours a day. He always show up emotionally, physically, and he doesn't make mistakes. And then he goes, hey guys, how much work did you do in the off-season? Because if you play your best, you'll beat me. But if you're not at your best, and most players are not at the Australian Open, they won't beat them.
Next week on ATP Uncovered, 2019 heralds tournament action in Brisbane, Doha and Pune. And we've an exclusive interview with the 2018 NITO ATP Finals champion, Alexander Zverev. Don't forget to log on to atptour.com and chat with us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. See you next week.